welcome. I didn't have an intro, but I have been a bit crazy, and I skipped all this little entrance stuff that was supposed to happen in the entrance of this park to get started on our first habitat. So there will still be like the bus terminal I talked about, and subway, and you know, just like a lot of stuff in the entrance part of it. But I just wanted to get started with an animal right away and do our first exhibit, and it's not really your typical, you know, like starter animal, and the reason is that this is kind of not the starter, but it's the end of the zoo. But I don't know, you know, there's still a lot of work to do here. I will remind you again that in this series, we're not really finishing the houses technically, just like per speed build, and the speed builds are more like updates on how far I've come. I still will try to kind of make it make sense. So for this one, we're doing the habitat of the American alligator, but it is part of a reptile house, and that one will be its own episode. So it just has the alligator part now, and there's like a non-existent building in the back of it. So we literally just have like a glass panel thing for the alligator, and then there's also an exhibit box, but I forgot what animal I put in here. Some frog, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's an exhibit box plus the American alligator, and it's, like I said, not really the typical animal for an entrance, but I literally just put it in because of a stupid joke that I wanted to make, and you'll have to wait for the real-time part to see the stupid joke that I wanted to do. And that's the only reason that the American alligator is in that, you know, it's right by the exit. So yeah, it has this little like bridge right now that we're building right now, and it is you know, like realistically I would have wanted it to be a glass bridge so that you could, you know, look at the water underneath your feet, but that's not possible in Planet Zoo. So it is this tunnel that has a solid ground, but it has like glass barriers to the sides. So this is where guests would walk over when they exit the reptile house. That is like the last cool thing of the reptile house before you're actually at the exit of the zoo. So that is where that is. And I decided to kind of go for this mixture of, you know, like straight walls, but also keep the kind of curvy aspects that we have established in the, you know, entrance, and kind of keep current with the style of the entrance. I will say it's kind of barren, and I kind of should have considered that more when picking this animal, that most of it would be like water surface and not too interesting looking, I guess. So I'm also not sure on the foliage that we're gonna have here. I mean, this is supposed to be set in Europe, so I didn't want to, you know, put like palm trees and stuff, at least not in the like the exterior part. So I, you know, and it also wouldn't really fit the alligator, I guess. But so I didn't want to do that. So I'm not really, you know, like I don't have confidence yet in my palette of which plants I want to use for this park. So we might come back and change some of the foliage around later on. This is obviously the first exhibit, so, you know, we might still, you know, get more of a feel as the project progresses, and maybe we're going to want to change something about this later, which obviously was a brilliant idea to have something with a lot of water and an elevated path to be something that, you know, potentially has to be changed, because, you know, that is so easy. You know, if there's one thing you can easily change, it's water and elevator paths, you know. So that wasn't the smartest, but, you know, I really like it. And yeah, so right now you can see me do the old trick of covering the floor of the pit with concrete, and for the most part, I think I covered up the edges of this pool to make it more realistic. And also, I gave a water source. See, so right now, what I'm building is a source for this source. Is that the word? Source for the little waterfall there. I wish we had a shorter version of the aquatic, like the solid waterfall, because it's it is so much prettier than the special effects pieces. So I'm really I wish we just had the front of the aquatic waterfall thing, you know. So we're adding these little trees that are kind of like mangroves. I'm not sure if they're actually supposed to be mangroves, but they have these like, you know, very cool roots. So I wanted to work with that, kind of frame the, you know, the entrance to the pool for the alligators. And then we have this little like courtyard between the entrance for the alligators and, you know, the water surface outside. It's kind of empty, and I think that's kind of good because I mean, let's be honest, it's not always the prettiest in zoos, and we want to be more realistic in this, so you can't have it look perfect from every angle. There is going to be just walls sometimes. Also, I'm not even sure that this viewing area will ever be used. Maybe we won't even have it in the end, because I don't know if the path will actually go up there, so we might even get rid of it, and then it's totally, you know, unimportant that if this ever looked good. So I'm not too stressed about that. You know, not every view has to be beautiful. So I'm building this water pump, piping, whatever, you know, technic stuff. And I was really happy that I got to kind of hide it underneath this bridge, but still have it there. And then now we're switching to the interior pod, which is kind of like a big terrarium. And I was kind of fumbling around here a lot, so I probably cut out like an hour of work because I wanted to do this cool like leveled thing where the visitors could look into them swimming, but at the same time have them walk in front of it, so like a glass wall in the middle of but that was too much. So now they're getting a small little waterfall, and some greenery, and hopefully like somewhat realistic cleanable insides. So that is that on that. So I'm using also this like wavy part up top to kind of make this viewing area a bit more friendly and I guess versatile, but also tying it in with the rest of the park. But I wasn't too focused on that one because that will obviously still continue to be worked on once we build the actual reptile house, which I'm not sure if that's going to be the next episode or if I will kind of go back between this like entrance stuff and the rest of the reptile house. I'm also considering maybe giving it a second floor, so it might even be 2 more episodes on the reptile house. And like I said, I just want to say it again, I will take a little more time with these because I also realize now that when I'm building bigger things, I'm always like, it stresses me out to build this, and I'm putting it off to actually get started because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be this big thing, I have to build this entire reptile house, when really I could just only build for the crocodiles, or only build 1 floor and then have the next video go into the next thing. And I think that's a more easy approach for me to get into being a bit more detailed with the builds. So that's how I'm gonna want to do it. And like I said, I will try to, you know, make it make sense for you guys. That it's not just like I build here and there, so let's look at it. We might do that as well at some point, but I try to not do that like too often. Okay, and yeah, so we do this another like green wall thing at the back, to, you know, because I love that, and I think I will be so sick of it once we end this, because I will probably do this a lot in this whole thing. But yeah, it's really dark in there, and I think that I want the entire reptile house to be kind of like dark and black and just like really only, you know, draw attention to the animals and not so much to the everything else. So that's just gonna be like clean, sleek black walls and floors and stuff. So that I want to do, and that's why this kind of seems very dark. So I also want to, once I'm done and I know what's on the upper floor, because I think I might do like a split level thing too. Once everything is done, I will also work on lighting, but it wouldn't really make sense to put lighting on the ceiling and then realize I don't have actually a ceiling because I'm making it split 4, you know. So yeah, I don't know. But I do want to put in actual lighting. And honestly, the thing where to me it probably really came together, this one, was when I put these roots in. Like, that was when I was totally like, oh, I like this, you know? So I might do this throughout the rest of the house as well. I'm not sure yet. But there's not much time anymore for me to talk. So we will obviously do the real-time part, which is when I will show you my stupid idea, which is the only reason that we actually had to have the alligator. But yeah, I will leave you with a few seconds of music, and then hopefully I'll see you for the real-time part. I just did this really, really long real-time part, and then I realized that I didn't record any audio for it, so we're gonna do it again. Welcome to our very first exhibit. It is the American alligator, like I said in voiceover, and let's have a little bit of an overview. Obviously, this is a very, very not finished reptile house in the back here. We're just going to focus on the area that is actually there for the American alligators. One thing I want to show you is from the outside. So right here is where the border of the zoo would be, probably, like here. So I want to have, because we have this nook here, we're going to have a bus terminal here, I decided. So that will happen, and then this area that is still part of the zoo, I thought this would be kind of nice because we don't want the people from the bus stop just looking in, but we also kind of want to have some interest to it. So I thought that was quite nice. So if we look at from here, it has small windows, but from here it's more covered, you know, which will also create kind of a darker interior for this, for the reptile house, because, you know, they're usually kind of dark. So that's so much from the outside facing part of this. And then something we will have to do here. I'm not sure about it yet. But, so we have this. And let's actually, throw a little person down here. And this is actually perfect. Let's actually kind of change the light a bit. So this is kind of my favorite kind of view of everything. I think this looks so modern and so clean, and I love it. It's just so good. I really like just looking at it from this specific angle is one of my favorite things ever. So we have this little thingy here with this like glass bridge, and like I said, if this was if I had it my way, this would be a glass walkway with a glass bottom to it, but we don't. And I quite like it. You know, I hope that it will still look pretty when I have a second floor on this building. And then one thing I want to say, though, is when you enter, I want something else to grab your attention away from it, because I want this to kind of be the last thing you look at, not the first thing. Even though it's the first thing we build, I want this to be the last thing you do before you exit. So I want an attention grabber over here. And kind of making sure that this is the round way and not this is the round way. So, there's that. And then obviously we're gonna, start our little tour from the other side. But let's actually have a quick look here. Actually, no, because I don't want you to see the dumb thing. That's the only reason why I did it here the way I did it. But one thing I want to say, though, while we're still outside here, so actually unpause the game, by the way. One thing I want to say, though, is I'm so glad that I did this little like curb situation here. That makes me very happy that I finally did that. I think it looks so much cleaner and nicer and more detailed, and I'm really like, yay. So yeah, I quite like this that I did that. So yeah, I'm really hyped that I'm actually kind of getting to be a bit more detailed and all of that. So now let's look at the interior. So let's just pretend that this is a finished building. So we just had a really fun time inside this reptile house, right? So we go here into kind of maybe probably a last room of it. And this is the exhibit thingy for the alligators, and something I'm just noticing, because I just quickly fixed something after the my little run through that I did without recording my voice, so I kind of changed something, so that is why those pieces were still there. But that's nothing to worry about. So this is the part for the alligators. This is the indoor area. One thing real quick, I know this is not a realistic gate, and the reason is that these are my natural enemies, you know, like these gates, they're not my friends. So I will do it, just not now. And also this big guy, the male, it can't go through it yet, so I'll have to find a solution for that anyway. But yeah, he really likes chilling in there, but they actually can go here, which was the thing that I just fixed. Yeah, I really like the tree things, and I'm kind of considering doing it throughout the rest of the reptile house as well, but I'm not sure yet. I don't want it to be too themed. Like, I want the main focus to be its modern being, and not so much the theming, but we might. I think they really quite add to it. So, quite like that. And then one thing I want to show you real quick is if we add a second story, I really hope that we have an opportunity to have this, like a little viewing, like a little balcony, if you will, from here. Because I think that looks really cool with this, like, with the tree thingy in here. Like, and it also gives you the opportunity, like when the crocodile's in here, where it will be the most of the time, we can view it from up here. So I kind of want to have this little like balcony-ish viewing from here, or maybe even like a walkway here. I'm not sure yet how I will do it, because obviously we'll have to work around these wavy things a bit. So yeah, that's a thing that that we're also gonna be doing at some point once the rest of this is finished. So the other thing is this exhibit box. Obviously, this is not something that has never been done before, but I have never done it before, where you look through the exhibit box and can continue to look into the big habitat behind it. So this is a glass wall, and this is the exhibit, and I really like it. So I might do some more decoration with it when the rest of the reptile house is being done. So far, it's, I guess, really well, it looked uncentered. That's why I picked it up. But from now, I don't know. But yeah, anyway. So I may be doing more decoration to it when I'm doing the interior for this whole reptile house, you know. But so far, the main idea is that this is like going in there a bit. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, wait. Well, that's not all. We're still waiting for the really stupid thing, the entire reason why the alligators have to be at the entrance. So obviously this will be like, we'll do a door out of it, you know, none of this is finished. But, okay, so the thing that I really wanted to do is this. Ta-da! It looks kind of goofy. It looks kind of dumb. I really kind of don't like it, but I don't know. It says, "See you later, alligator." And this is the last thing that you see before you go to the exit of the zoo. And so I kind of wanted to do that. So, yeah, this is your last little view into the exhibit. See a little alligator. You can say, "See you later," too. And, yeah. I also really like this. I think that from this angle it looks pretty lush, but not so lush that it's unrealistic, which is kind of my problem usually. And then, yeah, obviously this part I really like for some reason. So, yeah. Hello there. Pretty lady. So the girlie can go outside. Her mans has to stay inside because he doesn't fit through the door. I don't know why. I already tried to make it higher, wider. I don't know. He just doesn't want to go through it. But she's out here. She's living her best life, so good for her. And yeah, I guess that's all. So I hope that it will still look nice to my liking once the rest of the building is done. And, you know, all of that. So we might also, you know, do more detailing on these little thingies here or this. We might do education signs outside, but because I don't know what's on the other side of it, that's one of the things that I'm just not gonna do now, you know? So I've said it before, but the speed builds in this will kind of be more in like a progress update side of things. Like I try to make them make sense as speed builds, but they're not always going to be 100% finished, and I'll try to remember to update you when I finish them, really. But you know, we can't always do everything in these, just because everything will be so close by to each other. And I think you can tell from this already that the exhibits are, you know, a lot more man-made than my usual ones, which is what I want. But yeah, it's also, you know, a new thing to do for me. And one thing that I kind of want to critique for this, though, is it's very square, which I'm aware I want it, but it takes some getting used to. So I kind of want to have a more curvy thing going on here, maybe, to kind of break it up. Yeah, but that's all, I guess. Oh, yeah, this is the viewing area that I was talking about that I might not even use because I don't know if there will be a path here. But the only thing that I'm really proud of here is that I kind of did these like sandy drag marks here, where the alligators would drag some sand towards their interior, and then, you know, let's just ignore that there's a gate missing here. But yeah, okay, so I guess that's all then, and I hope that my little dumb joke over there was worth it, and I hope that you're excited for the rest of our reptile house, and I hope that I see you around another time. That was kind of awkward, but okay, yeah, bye!